time, we have a caller.
Sure.
It's Mary is joining us now on the line. Hi, Mary. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
Wonderful. How can Daniel help tonight?
I was wondering, some years back, my husband and I had a will drawn up, but since then, and we're older people, senior citizens, our wills that we have, some of the people that we left things to and some of the people we had written things about in the will, they're no longer with us. They've gone on. So we don't know whether we need to do a new will or can we just, have somebody change things, or how would you deal with something like that?
Sure. So you can do amendments to wills. They're called codicils. And so you will want to adjust it. I mean, wills are important to, look at from time to time, to review them to make sure that things like you're talking about haven't occurred. There can be marriages, births, maybe deaths. These things change a will in a lot of cases. And so if you've had a will that's sitting in your safety deposit box for 30, 40 years, that's obviously not going to be reflecting what reality is at the time. And so it is kind of important to sit back down and probably have that adjusted, whether it's amended or just drafting a new one. But right now it probably still is effective. And some of those bequests may have lapsed, or they could cause issues. And so it needs to be addressed.
And Daniel, in these cases, do attorneys try to foresee and plan for situations like that? And what kind of wording would you put in a will that would allow for you to actually plan for, or in the contingency that, you have 2 children and one passes before you pass away, you might want things to be done differently. Is there any way you can do that in your will?
Yes, so you can plan ahead and try and figure out all the different options as far as things that could occur, although you can also drive yourself a little crazy doing that. And so, we try to plan on things that could occur. A child predeceasing you is unlikely, but it does happen. And so we like to fill in that contingency. And it may be that their share goes to their kids, or it may be that it goes to the other siblings or something like that. Ultimately, if all else fails, the state does have some rules as to what would happen. And so it may fall to that if the attorney hasn't fully thought it through and talked to you about it. But it usually stays within the family in some way, shape, or form.
And someone that's got this kind of concern, if they were to seek out a probate attorney, what would it cost for them to kind of just bring it in for you to review and just sort of look and see whether or not they need to do a codicil?
Sure. So it depends. We do workshops. If you come into our workshop, you can have a free consultation with me after that, and that doesn't cost you a dime, and I can review it and see if it needs anything and tell you that. Otherwise you'd probably spend a few $100s to have a consultation like that with an attorney.
Will there be snacks at this workshop?
Sometimes,
okay.
Honestly. We usually bring brownies or something along those lines.
That's very kind of you. Just thought
nice.
I'd ask. Yeah, they've been doing it for many years and do a wonderful job. And even as I understand, was it one of your grandparents? Mm-hmm. I think your dad was telling me that Aubrey and
I send my family over to them anytime someone asks me about probate stuff. That's where they go the roads from.
Well, that's wonderful.